Well, Donald Trump has confessed. He confessed. This weekend, the appropriately titled case of Donald J. Trump versus United States of America took a turn that no TV drama writer would ever write because it's so absurd and no prosecutor would ever expect because nothing like it has ever happened before. In decades of TV drama and movies, we have seen the criminal suspect worn down by clever police interrogation or prosecutor cross-examination to the point where the suspect finally gives up and confesses. Well, you know, that doesn't happen very much in real life. But what happened in the Trump case this weekend never, ever happened in real life. Until now. Now that Donald Trump is a criminal suspect in a federal investigation of possible violations of the Espionage Act and obstruction of justice, the most dangerous place for Donald Trump is anywhere near a microphone. Donald Trump's lawyers know this, but they also know they cannot control their client. And so yesterday, Donald Trump stepped up to a microphone in Arizona to support the candidate he chose to run against Democratic Senator Mark Kelly. Senator Kelly now has a 3-point lead in the polls. Donald Trump did not give Arizona voters any real reason to vote for his chosen candidate for Senate. Instead, he let Arizona voters be the very first people to hear his confession.
I had a small number of boxes in storage at Mar-a-Lago guarded by Secret Service and my people and everybody. I mean, it's safe. There is no crime. You know, there is no crime. It's not a crime. And they should give me immediately back everything that they've taken from me because it's mine. It's mine.
Because it's mine. It's mine. Donald Trump, in front of thousands of witnesses yesterday and in front of a couple of million witnesses right now on this program, proved beyond a shadow of a doubt his criminal intent to continue to illegally possess government records, including classified records. Donald Trump, with that statement, made it clear that he had the criminal intent and plan to never return the government's property to the government. Even Donald Trump's first line, I had a small number of boxes in storage at Mar-a-Lago, is legally problematic for Donald Trump's defense. One of the defenses that was theoretically available to Donald Trump at the beginning of this criminal investigation was, I didn't know the stuff was there. It was down in the basement, and I didn't know we had any stuff left down in the basement there. I thought we sent it all back. That might have been able to create enough reasonable doubt in the mind of a jury. But Donald Trump now has formally ripped away that possible line of defense. Donald Trump is saying very clear that he knew that he had boxes in storage at Mar-a-Lago. He's saying he knew that. And you can ignore the bit in the middle where Donald Trump says it's not a crime, because no matter how many times he tells his fans it's not a crime, that doesn't change the written law that says in writing that it is a federal crime. So in Donald Trump's confession, he made it clear beyond a reasonable doubt that he knew that he had boxes in storage at Mar-a-Lago, and that those boxes contained government documents, including classified documents that belonged to the government, and that he was never going to return those documents to the government. He was going to continue to commit that crime of illegal possession of those documents every day for the rest of his life because, in his words, it's mine. These are the kinds of public comments that amount to nothing less than Donald Trump, in effect, taunting Attorney General Merrick Garland to indict him. Donald Trump is now publicly daring the Attorney General to indict him. Donald Trump is mocking the very existence of the law that he so clearly violated. Donald Trump is pretending the law does not exist. Donald Trump says it's not a crime. What does that do to the Justice Department's and the Attorney General's resolve to live by the words that Merrick Garland has said repeatedly since this case began? No one is above the law. NBC News broke the news that on Friday, one of the Trump lawyers met with federal investigators and answered their questions, according to 3 NBC News sources familiar with the matter. Attorney Christina Bobb has been represented by her own criminal defense lawyer since it became public that she signed a statement to federal authorities in June that was proven to be false. On June 3rd at Mar-a-Lago, when FBI agents and a federal prosecutor arrived to collect all the government documents at the property, all of which were under subpoena, Christina Bobb signed a certification saying that the Trump lawyers were handing over every single document that was subject to that subpoena. Every single government document on the property was being handed over. Christina Bobb signed a statement saying, based upon the information that has been provided to me, I am authorized to certify on behalf of the office of Donald J. Trump the following. A diligent search was conducted of the boxes that were moved from the White House to Florida. B, this search was conducted after receipt of the subpoena in order to locate any and all documents that are responsive to the subpoena. C, any and all responsive documents accompany this certification. And D, no copy, written notation, or reproduction of any kind was retained. As to any responsive document, I swear or affirm that the above statements are true and correct to the best of my knowledge. That document was written by another Trump lawyer, Evan Corcoran. And The Guardian is reporting that Christina Bobb required that language be added to that document that now might save her from criminal prosecution. The phrase, based upon the information that has been provided to me. Those words were added by Christina Bobb, and those words might be the magic words that save Christina Bobb from being prosecuted for lying to the FBI. Before Donald Trump returned a single document to the government, New York Times is reporting that he came up with a truly Trumpian idea with his staff. Mr. Trump floated the idea of offering the deal to return the boxes in exchange for documents he believed would expose the Russia investigation as a hoax cooked up by the FBI. Mr. Trump did not appear to know specifically what he thought the archives had, only that there were items he wanted. Mr. Trump's aides, recognizing that such a swap would be a non-starter since the government had a clear right to the material Mr. Trump had taken from the White House and the Russia-related documents held by the archives remained marked as classified. They never acted on the idea.